Have you ever set a goal on January 1st and completely forgotten about it by February? Today we're talking about productivity habits, the small daily moves that actually stick. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to build one that lasts.
Okay, I have to admit, that hits close to home. I buy a notebook, I write read more, and by week 2, it's just sitting there.
You're definitely not alone. Most people don't fail because they lack motivation. They fail because they never set up a trigger. A trigger is just the little signal that reminds you to start the habit, like putting your running shoes right by the front door.
Oh, so it's not about willpower at all?
Exactly. Willpower just means your mental energy to force yourself through something hard. And honestly, it runs out fast, especially by the end of a long day. A trigger does the work for you, so you don't have to rely on feeling motivated.
That actually makes so much sense. So instead of hoping I'll magically want to read, I could leave the book on my pillow every morning?
That's a perfect trigger. And here's an idea that takes it even further: habit stacking. Habit stacking just means attaching a brand new habit to something you already do every single day without fail.
Like what?
Like, after I pour my morning coffee, I'll read one page. You're not trying to remember a new habit out of nowhere. You're hooking it onto something automatic.
I love that. My coffee is basically the one thing I never skip.
Right, and once you do it a few days in a row, something interesting happens. You build momentum. Momentum just means once a habit gets moving, it gets easier to keep going. Kind of like a snowball rolling downhill.
So the first few days are the hardest part?
Exactly, and that's why we start small. One page, not one chapter. Big goals collapse under their own weight. If you break down a huge goal into a tiny daily action, it's almost impossible to skip.
I've definitely tried to go from 0 to 60 and burned out in a week.
Everyone has. There's actually one more piece: your environment. If your desk is covered in clutter, your brain has to fight through all that visual noise before it even starts working.
Clutter, meaning like piles of papers, random cables, old mugs.
Exactly that. A messy space quietly drains your focus before you've done anything. So part of building a productivity habit is setting aside 5 minutes at the end of the day just to clear your space for tomorrow.
Okay, that's 4 ideas already. Trigger, stacking, momentum, and clutter. Is there anything that actually helps with the work itself once I'm sitting down?
Great question, because sitting down isn't the same as actually working. That's where time blocking comes in. Time blocking just means giving each task its own slot on your calendar, instead of leaving your whole day open and hoping you'll get to everything.
So instead of a to-do list floating around, I'd write 9 to 10 emails and 10 to noon writing?
Exactly right. And here's the trick. You have to protect that block like it's an actual meeting. If a task doesn't have a time, it usually doesn't happen.
Wait, so just writing it down on a list isn't enough?
Not really, no. Lists are easy to ignore. A block on your calendar feels more real, so you're way less likely to skip it.
That explains why my to-do list from Monday is still sitting there on Friday.
We've all been there. But once you combine time blocking with a small trigger, say closing your laptop lid means block is over, it becomes almost automatic.
Okay, so let me try to sum it up in my own words. A trigger gets me started, stacking hides the new habit inside an old one, small steps build momentum, a clear space removes friction, and time blocking protects the actual work.
That's a great summary. And underneath all of it is one more thing. Consistency beats intensity. Showing up for 10 minutes daily will always beat one huge 3-hour session that happens once a month.
I've definitely fallen into that trap, cramming everything into one exhausting Sunday.
Right, and that leads to burnout way faster than steady, small steps ever would. Alright, you've basically got the whole toolkit now.
I feel like I actually understand this instead of just memorizing words.
Want to see it in action? Let's run a real coaching session. I'll be a productivity coach, and you play someone trying to build a habit. Ready?
Ready. Hi, thanks for meeting with me. I keep trying to work out in the morning, but I never actually get up.
Totally normal. First question. What's your trigger right now? Is there anything reminding you to move?
Not really. My alarm just goes off and I scroll my phone for 20 minutes.
There's your problem. Let's stack the habit onto something certain. The moment your feet hit the floor, put on your workout clothes. Don't think about the workout yet, just the clothes.
Just the clothes? That feels too easy.
That's the point. Once you're dressed, momentum practically pulls you toward the door. And keep the goal tiny at first. 5 minutes of movement. That's it.
5 minutes feels almost silly.
Silly is good. Silly is sustainable. Now, do you have a set time for this, or does it just float somewhere in your morning?
Honestly, it just floats. I tell myself sometime before work.
That's exactly why it keeps slipping. Let's block it. 6:30 to 6:35 every single day, right on your calendar. Treat it like a real appointment.
Okay, 6:30 to 6:35, movement. That feels specific enough that I couldn't really talk myself out of it.
Exactly the goal. And one more thing. Clear the clutter off your bedroom floor tonight, so there's nothing in your way when you get up.
Set aside a few minutes tonight. Put my clothes right by the bed, block off 5 minutes. I can actually see myself doing that.
Now you're thinking like someone who actually finishes what they start.
Thanks, Coach. I think I finally get why my old plans kept falling apart.
And scene. Did you catch how naturally we used trigger, stacking, momentum, clutter, and time blocking right there in a real conversation?
I did. And honestly, hearing it as a coaching session made it click way more than just hearing the definitions.
That's the whole point. So let's pull it together. The big ideas from today. Use a trigger instead of relying on willpower. Stack new habits onto something automatic. And keep the first step tiny.
Then clear away clutter so there's less friction. And block out real time on your calendar instead of hoping it happens.
Perfect summary. And underneath it all, consistency beats intensity every single time.
Small triggers, small steps, small cleanups, real time blocks. Big results over time.
Exactly. As they say, practice makes perfect. And every single one of these habits gets easier the more you repeat it. Let's see what's stuck. A quick check.
What's the difference between willpower and a trigger? What does habit stacking mean? True or false? You should start with the biggest version of your new habit. False. You should start incredibly small, like 5 minutes, so it's easy to keep going. What is time blocking, and why does it work better than a to-do list? Fill in the blank. Practice makes blank. Perfect. Practice makes perfect.
Nice work. Let's bring it all together.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us and learning about productivity habits today.
This is Sophia.
And I'm Ethan.
If this helped you, go ahead and subscribe or follow for more lessons like this one.
And drop the score you got in the practice section down in the comments. We'd love to see how you did.
Keep practicing your English and keep stacking those small habits.
See you in the next one.